Hi guys, my name is Akshay and I am a manifestation coach. All my contact info is in the description. Today I'm going to talk about a very powerful technique that you can use to get what you want from other people. Okay. And I'm going to explain this technique to you with the help of a success story, a phenomenal success story that I only recently came across. And I was so inspired by it that I thought I'll share it with you. So, the conventional approach to getting what you want from other people is to either confront them or beg them, plead them, request them, order them, make them give it to you by force or by emotional blackmail. So all of these are conventional approaches. Okay, but this story elucidates it. It explains how to get what you want from other people without confronting them, It's a very powerful technique. And this is the story of a young boy who was born in a port city on the Black Sea. The city is called Odessa. It's in present day Ukraine. But at that time, this was several decades ago, it was in Russia. Okay. And this guy was extremely impoverished, very impoverished, lost his mom at 10. His dad didn't make enough to provide well for him and all his siblings. So he never ate to his heart's content. He never had new clothes or new shoes. Okay, and so he began working when he was just 10 years old. Okay, and as he grew up a little bit, he got a job, going to the bank, and just delivering money in exchange for coins and stuff. Okay, and so one day he just wished that the cashier would make a mistake and by mistake give him some extra cash that he could use to buy a full meal and pants and shoes. That's all he wished for. Okay, so as he was standing in front of the cashier, he just wished, okay, that he would make a mistake. And in his mind, he began, imagining that when the cashier makes a mistake, I'll eat a plate full of food to my heart's content. He, in his own words, he said, I will eat till it comes out from my ears, till the food comes. So it's funny, but he was very poor, very poor. So for him, it was a really big manifestation. And he thought, I'll buy new shoes, because he never had worn new shoes in his life. And that day the cashier didn't make a mistake, but this guy kept on imagining in his mind that if he had made a mistake, I would be right now, I'd be eating, I'd be buying myself new shoes and stuff. So the next day he went to the bank. The cashier made a mistake. The cashier made a mistake and he gave him extra money. And this guy didn't spend the money. For one day, he was fighting within himself because his mom had taught him that you should not covet, you should not lie, you should not steal. But his desire, his hunger for food overcame his mother's teachings. And he kept the money instead of returning it back to the bank. He kept it. And he went and bought himself food and shoes, and he ate to his heart's content. And this guy lived until he was 77 years old. Okay, and when he passed on, his estate was worth 2 million at least US dollars. 2 million US dollars. An impoverished guy who struggled for to eat a full meal. Okay, and this guy was well known to Neville, and Neville narrated this story in one of his lectures. But the most interesting part, I'm just going to narrate it right now. This guy, when he became an established businessman, he often had customers whose payments were due, so they were maybe slightly late on their payment, but he never took them to court. He never confronted them. Never. His technique was that he would imagine that he'd received a check from the customer and that he was writing a letter thanking them because the check had been received and encashed. This was his imaginal act. He would imagine that he was writing a letter. Sometimes he would write a letter thanking the customer for sending them the money, and that is how he kept his relations with all his customers very good. He never lost a customer because the customer was late on his payments. He never held any resentment towards them in his heart. He never confronted them. The only thing that he did was, in his mind, he imagined that they'd already paid him. I want you to take inspiration from this story, because I have seen, especially when you're manifesting money or a specific person, you go and fight with your boss, beg with your boss, plead with your boss, please give me a raise, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, please give it to me, please give it to me. With a specific person, you fight with them. Why don't you text me often? Why don't you send me heart emojis, hug emojis, love emojis? Why don't you treat me with why don't you appreciate me? Why don't you love me? Why don't you send me gifts? Why don't you hug me? Like, why are you talking to other people? You confront them. It comes across as very clingy, very needy, very desperate. It's not attractive. So what you have to do is go to the end, imagine and enjoy the specific outcome that you want. Okay. Fighting with other people is it's not the best way to get what you want. Having said what I said today, I still want to use this. I want you to derive value from this video, obviously, but I want you to use your discretion as well. Okay. I don't want you to become a doormat because you do not have the ability to confront people if required. Okay. You should have that ability always, but choose to solve things in as peaceful a manner as possible. Okay. In order to have peace, you must be strong. Ex-President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, said that strength respects strength. So you need strength for peace. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Unleash the power within you, and remember that if I said it, I already did it. Just one more thing. I have once more begun to offer free sessions for the best comments in my videos. Your comments help me to make better videos. So your feedback is very valuable to me. So the best comment, the wittiest, the smartest, the most thought-provoking, the funniest, perhaps the most sincere comment, I'm going to pick out winners every month and give them free one-on-one sessions with me. It could be one winner or two. Earlier, I've also had 3 or 4 per month. So it depends upon the quality of your comments. Thank you. All the best.